A very good evening and welcome to RwandaTV News. I'm William Evans, but first, the headlines. Residents in Rwanda's north and western provinces say that the feeder roads built by the government in their areas have resolved the trade challenges they used to face. While BPR Bank has officially launched a partnership with the Rwanda Cycling Federation through the sponsorship of the Tour du Rwanda. Many thanks for joining me. I'm William Evans. Now this is the news in details. Residents in Rwanda's north and western provinces say that the feeder roads built by the government in their areas have resolved the trade challenges they used to face, such that they no longer struggle to transport agriculture and livestock produce to the market. Cattle farmers in the western province are among those who continue to appreciate the roads the government has been constructing there, mostly paved roads, as they no longer face difficulties delivering milk to various collection centers. Now, in Igachenje district in the northern province, it has already built more than 200 kilometers of roads, and this district, like others in the province, is often affected by natural disasters caused by water flowing from high hills, which, among other things, damage roads. The construction of the roads has also gone hand in hand with building bridges, connecting one sector to another or linking districts. However, despite figures showing that the number of kilometers of feeder roads constructed across the country is encouraging, complaints are still being heard from residents living near roads that are no longer passable, a matter that was raised during the 20th National Umushyikirano Council. The Minister of Infrastructure, Dr. Jimmy Gasori, has reiterated that construction of feeder roads is part of the government's commitment and that areas where roads have not yet been built have not been forgotten. As the government continues to implement the second phase of the National Strategy for Transformation, NST2, more than 4,200 kilometers of road have been constructed across the country, while 600 kilometers of national roads have been rehabilitated in different parts of the country. The activities are being carried out along other major projects to build roads linking the country's 4 provinces. Now, residents who own plots of land in residential areas or housing sites are calling for improvements in how these sites are developed, citing issues related to the fees charged and the way contractors subdivide the sites, saying this should make it easier for them to apply for construction permits without unnecessary delays. This issue has also been raised with leaders. During the National Umushyikirano Council, residents were assured that the matter would be followed up, and in developing residential companies awarded the contracts work together with site committees at settlement level to determine road layouts, areas for water and electricity networks, and other infrastructure. Every landowner within such sites pays an amount ranging between 350,000 and 600 Rwandan francs, depending on the location. I beg your pardon. Only then are the authorities to take action, such as applying for construction permits, subdividing the land, or selling it. Some people go for months before construction permits are provided, despite meeting all requirements. Beyond this issue, others are also calling for improvements in service delivery within the residential sites, particularly regarding infrastructure fees. At the 20th National Umushyikirano Council, a resident asked authorities to monitor the improper functioning of some resident site committees, alleging that there may be corruption and injustice. The city of Kigali is the area with the highest number of designated residential sites, and the number continues to increase by the day. Mayor Samuel Dusengyumva says the city authorities are studying ways to reform at the sites, and the sites that are approved are planning to introduce digital systems in order to eliminate the shortcomings that have been identified, addressing concerns about corruption and injustice raised during the National Umushyikirano Council. The Minister of Infrastructure, Dr. Jimmy Gasori, said that clear guidelines have been established and must be followed for residents who own plots in residential sites and wish to build in them. Residential sites are intended to prevent unplanned settlement and to bring basic infrastructure closer to the residents. The city of Kigali is alone reports that among the designated residential sites, there are 103,000 plots, with only 37 developed this far. Tomorrow news, the Minister of Trade and Industry says that Rwanda has set an ambitious goal to build a strong and integrated transport sector across air, land and water under a comprehensive 5-year transport sector strategy plan running from 2024 to 2029, and the plan is expected to be implemented at a total cost of $1.2 billion, aimed at positioning Rwanda as a regional logistics and a trade hub. We do have details to this report. Nearly 13 years ago, a group of Rwandans established a company offering logistics services for both imports and exports using air, road, and water transport routes. There are people we have signed agreements with that gave us trailers, and we have subsidized our prices and also use insurance to ensure our clients' goods against any issues. Until now, we have a team that works together and we do not have damage issues. Beyond handling inbound and outbound cargo, the company also facilitates the relocation of both Rwandans and foreign nationals entering or exiting the country. Here, they are seen assisting the relocation of a diplomat who had completed his assignment in Rwanda. These individuals could be leaving Rwanda, going back to their home countries or to another country to continue with their own work. Our role is to support them with transportation of their goods to wherever they are heading. These could also be leaving another country or even their very countries coming to Rwanda. The chairperson of the Rwanda Freight Forwarders Association, Gwijema David Mujema, likens the movement of goods to blood circulating in the human body, emphasizing the sector's central role in economic life.
Transportation, either in air or on land or in water, we do all that service. So this is a very important service because it's like blood runs through the body. We also are needed in the clearance of cargo, not only in the clearance, but also in the movement of cargo from the point of production to the point of consumption. So how we used to work before, the errors that we used to commit in the process of declarations, and what is taking place now, there is a lot of improvement. Every other day, every other month, every other year, we are moving forward.
The transport and logistics sector has also faced a skills gap, prompting several universities to introduce undergraduate and postgraduate programs in transport management and international trade logistics.
I chose to do this program because it is something that is applicable in each and every field, be it medical, be it government, be it in agriculture. There is no place that you cannot find supplies and procurement, because every day they're moving products, they're moving things that they need as a company. So it's applicable in every field that you can go to. That's the main reason why I chose it.
The training does not target the local market, it just targets the international community. Of course, with emphasis on the local population, because that's where we have the greatest need. But now, this need is not exactly unique for Rwanda. It's a need that is felt across this Eastern Africa region. So while Rwanda is the greatest beneficiary, the regions within Eastern Africa also are feeling the impact of the graduates that we are producing.
Employment, yes, is there. And what is important is that the employment market is looking for people who are relevant to that market. But also we have those who are self-employed. If you go to customs, if you go to clearing and forwarding, there are still opportunities for people to start their own businesses in logistics and supply chain management, including transportation. So yes, I think the opportunities are there. It's only that we need to make sure they know how to tap into those opportunities.
The permanent secretary in the Ministry of Trade and Industry, Anton Kajangwe, says the government has prioritized investment in infrastructure, particularly facilities that ease the movement of goods. Trade cooperation between countries is something very important and one that is of great benefit and support the economic growth of a country. Therefore, there are priorities, be it in infrastructure development in terms of roads, warehouses and other facilities that support these trade cooperations. Investor and business expert Dennis Carrera notes that Rwanda's transport sector has made significant progress over the past 3 decades. When you look at the transportation industry today in our country, for example, there is a known transportation and logistics association that was able to purchase 200 trailers at once. I also know business colleagues who can testify to owning 150 trailers as individuals. The volume of goods traded, the money exchanged, and other factors is a clear indication that all of these goods are on the market and they're being consumed. As the second phase of the National Strategy for Transformation, NST2, draws to a close in 2029, the government has rolled out a transport development program valued at $1.2 billion aimed at strengthening the sector and cementing Rwanda's position as a regional trade and logistics hub. The program is officially known as the Transport Sector Strategic Plan 2024-2029. Now, the Ministry of Agriculture and Animal Resources is urging farmers to prioritize the use of certified seedlings obtained from registered and authorized agro suppliers, saying that these seedlings undergo scientific research and quality testing. Officials say that the move will help reduce losses that farmers often suffer because of planting substandard or uncertified seeds. We do have details to this report. Farmers organized under Kovamaba Cooperative, which grows potatoes and maize in the wetlands in Rindo district, and members of Ichereteza 2031 Taba Cooperative, cultivating beans and maize in the wetlands of Gachenya district, say that maize yields for the 2026 season A are expected to decline due to the poor quality of seeds planted. This year's maize harvest is less for many of us compared to what we were expecting. I had bought seedlings of 2 types, but one type did not grow. Maize in this season did not yield as expected. We planted maize and was growing very well until the tasseling stage. Many died at this stage. I suspect it could be because of some maize seedlings not matching with the soil type. In response to this challenge, a research officer at the Rwanda Agriculture and Animal Resources Development Board, Dr. Athanase Nduwumuremyi, says ongoing research is being conducted on maize, potatoes, and cassava seeds to improve productivity and introduce climate-resilient variants to the market. The speciality of these seeds, like I said, is that they are weather and disease resilient. Irish potatoes are not sprayed. The issue of chemicals used to spray potatoes that caused many losses will not be a challenge anymore. These particular chemicals were also costing the country in terms of finances because we don't make it locally. For cassava, in the past, we had issues finding cassava because of some viral infections that had the potential to kill cassava 100%. But as we speak, the research we are making is promising resilient cassava seeds. The Director General in charge of Agriculture Modernization at the Ministry of Agriculture and Animal Resources, Dr. Patrick Karangwa, advises farmers to constantly source seeds from licensed agro-dealers as a way of avoiding unnecessary losses. We advise farmers to refrain from using their own seedlings, but instead to find quality ones from authorized agro suppliers. He further warns agro-dealers who sell unauthorized or counterfeit seeds that they risk facing legal penalties. As you may be aware, recently a law was introduced and is now tabled in the Parliament. This will be used to hold accountable those who illegally sell unauthorized or counterfeit seeds. Meanwhile, RAB says its ongoing research on maize, potatoes and cassava is already showing promising results. According to the agency, maize yields are expected to increase from 2 to 3 tons per hectare up to 8 tons per hectare. Potato yields are projected to rise from 8 tons per hectare to over 36 tons per hectare, while cassava yields are expected to reach 35 tons per hectare. BPR Bank has officially launched a partnership with the Rwanda Cycling Federation through the sponsorship of the Tour du Rwanda, an international cycling race expected to bring together teams from 18 countries across different continents. The announcement was made during Car-Free Day activities in Kigali, which brought together hundreds of residents for sports and fitness exercises. We do have details to this report. Participants in the community sports activities ranging from jogging, cycling, aerobics and martial arts said they are ready to rally behind cyclists who will compete in this year's Tour du Rwanda, describing cycling as a sport they cherish just like any other. Tour du Rwanda, just like Visit Rwanda, is a good initiative to market our country and attract tourists here, thus contributing to the tourism sector and the general economic growth of our country. I love cycling so much that I had to ride all the way from Rwamagana to here. Be it in Rwamagana or here in Kigali, I'm always present with my bicycle and participate for fun, but with a lot of pleasure and joy. It was during this Car-Free Day event that BPR Bank formally unveiled its sponsorship partnership with Rwanda Cycling Federation, anchored on the prestigious Tour du Rwanda race. The bank's chief executive officer, Mutesi Patience, says the initiative is part of BPR's broader commitment to promoting sports and healthy lifestyles among Rwandans.
We believe in partnership in sports. So we've partnered with golf, for example. We've done some promotion of motorsports. So today is our launch of the partnership in cycling. It's our commitment, a long-term commitment. It's our first time to partner with Tour du Rwanda, but it's a long-term commitment because we know that Tour du Rwanda touches the lives of so many people in Rwanda, and we want to be part of it to say that we are here as BPR as a long-term partner, as a sustainable partner in the development of not only sports but also the economic development of our country.
On his part, the president of Rwanda Cycling Federation, Samson Ndayishimiye, says increased sponsorship has played a critical role in the growth and professionalism of cycling in Rwanda.
You can't do a race like this without a sponsorship, without a partner. First of all, our sport is expensive. Hence why it's an honor for us to be able to say we have partnership with a bank like BPR. So it means that on our budget for this particular race, there's a huge commitment they've given us that is going to help us be able to deliver this event, this race.
The annual Tour du Rwanda is scheduled to kick off on February 22nd and conclude on 1st March this year. Well, with that, we come to the end of tonight's bulletin. I'm William Evans, and from me and the rest of the team, have a good night and a blessed week ahead. Good night.